All right, what is going on, Jeremiah Black Development Network? I haven't done a JT pocket watching review video. Yesterday was probably like the third time I was able to. I was really blessed to be in his live, but I did want to do a reaction video because I 110% agree with the topic that was on hand. And the topic was that the HOTEP Hustlers, that means your Umar Johnsons, your JT Morrisons, or Jay Morrison, excuse me, not JT Morrison, Jay Morrison, all these black conscious people are holding down the black community. But I'll let JT talk about it for a second.
HOTEP, this right here, this is normally what they mean. So let's sit back and watch this for a second.
Instead of toppling white supremacy, what HOTEPs ultimately want to do is replace white male patriarchy with black male patriarchy. Hey everyone, this is Damon from Very Smart Brothers, and you're about to hear the only HOTEP explainer you will ever need to hear. If someone has some lotion nearby, please help me out because it's about to get real ashy. HOTEP is an Egyptian word that means peace. It's basically like the Egyptian version of what's good. It's become a way to describe a certain level of like performative pro-blackness. These HOTEPs aren't just super pro-black, they're also anti-women, anti-gay, anti-trans people, basically anti-everything that isn't a straight blackness. What separates them from genuine pro-blackness is that their pro-blackness is limiting. It doesn't include people who fit outside of the definitions of what a black person is supposed to be.
We're all on the same page. So when I say HOTEP, that's what I'm referring to. Am I referring to every single person that would be considered in the black conscious movement that are attempting to use their resources and their manpower to advance things within the black culture, to advance equality, to advance the economic situation in the black community? No.
And I want to find that video, so hopefully I can find that video and get the link in the description. But that was a pinpoint definition, and that's what JT was talking about. I'm pro-black. I am for the progression of black people. Black people are not limit to straight black men, right? They're limited to black women progressing. They're limited to trans black people progressing. Any section of the word in which we are gaining more resources, more knowledge, we are advancing as a culture, while also retaining our culture, is very, very important to me. And it's very, very important to JT, apparently. And so I think that it's super important to highlight that, because a lot of these guys, especially Dr. Umar Johnson, who has gone on the Breakfast Club and talked about, he's talked about the gay community a lot, which, if you ask me personally, the gay community is not a problem. We've always had gay people, LGBTQ. We just put a label on them. Finally, we finally put them in a category that suits their needs and things like that. But we were still poor. You can outlaw as many gay people as you want. The black dollar has nothing to do with what your sexuality is. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. You know what I mean? The one thing I notice about the dollar bill, it don't care what gender you are, and it doesn't care what race you are. It is the systems that are put in place. And personally, I feel like the first thing people see is your skin color. So they could give two shits about whether you're gay or anything like that. The system is still the system in which we lived in. The laws are still the laws. So that's just how I feel about it as well.
Why do I consider him to be a HOTEP hustler? Mr. Jay Morrison is a HOTEP hustler in my perspective, in my view, because he is a person who talks black, right? Does a lot of black talk. But if you actually look into his actions, if you review what he actually does, it does not align with the talk. Here's an example. Now, Mr. Jay Morrison claims to be a real estate expert. Not just a real estate expert, the brother actually claims to be a real estate mogul. Would you be surprised if I told you that the real estate mogul, Jay Morrison, who for years and years and years promoted about how the black community needs to invest more in real estate, how they need to stop being generational renters, and they need to get involved in real estate. That is a statement that I absolutely agree with. So I'm not trying to say that was wrong, but here's the surprise. Here's the curveball. This man who has claimed to be a proponent of building wealth through real estate, only a couple of years ago, I'm going to say within the last 2 years or something like that, the man just recently bought his own home. That means he's been renting 4 years. Now, I understand that he, previously owned a home, I believe when he was in New Jersey, a home that went into foreclosure. Remember, he's supposed to be a multi-millionaire real estate investor.
Yeah, if you guys don't know too much about Jay Morrison, in a nutshell, was able to convince. He was actually a part of that Karen Civil Jeezy thing as well. He was a part of that fake ass check that Jeezy presented. If anybody remember during that time, like Jeezy had a whole bunch of issues going on in his in his music career, and so he called upon Karen Civil, who I think took money from Jay Morrison, who was creating a fake pseudo academy, and in order to get people to sign up for it, he collaborated with Young Jeezy to give out a fake $1 million check, and to show Jeezy's doing some positivity in the community, and to put his own stuff that he was dealing with to the side and things like that, and continue on with his music career. So they fucking faked $1 million check. So if that's who Jay Morrison is, just so you know, he fake funded Jay Morrison's academy for everybody who wants to have like a little lesson on Jay Morrison.
So that's my issue with the HOTEP Hustlers. Not only do they promote a narrative that they don't live, they are really a financial distraction for you. They're a financial distraction. They are people who are in place to keep you numb in a situation, to say pretty words that will make you feel good so you can drop some money in the donation bucket. But at the end of the day, after you're done dropping your money in the donation bucket and you walk out of the lecture hall or wherever they had their meeting, you're probably the exact same lifestyle situation. You have not improved anything. The only thing that really happened is that money went from your pocket into their pockets.
Yeah, so how many years has this been? I know it's been between 10 and 11 years since Dr. Umar Johnson said he was going to have that school open. And he's still receiving donations as we speak right now. People are still sending him money and things like that. And Dr. Umar Johnson's already been exposed. So we already seen his tax information. Literally is public. You can see it, what tax information he's on. We've already seen that, you know what I mean, he's collecting all this debt on his nonprofit, and he's also not doing his taxes correctly. Anyway, as a nonprofit, which is probably the easiest shit that you could possibly do, as a nonprofit. The crazy thing is that for me personally, I feel like in order for us to actually gain some traction in the black dollar is, of course, you know, when they talk about real estate, definitely diving into real estate, we need to have some ownership, of course. But again, it also comes down to knowledge as well. The most thing that I feel like is being promoted to us is rappers, basketball players, and things like that. Not suitable jobs that are really trying to that are going to change the game for us, and actually get us out of the hoods and get us out of the projects. You talk about HVAC workers. My uncle, they work for apartments. They do maintenance on apartments. They do AC repairs on apartments and things like that. They get benefits out of doing that, as well as a great job with salary, and promotion opportunities. When you talk about engineering, certain types of engineering, they even have jobs where you can go overseas, make your money, sit on your ass all day. Well, not sit on your ass all day, but do minimum work to basically the benefits that they give you, and then come back, man, you're sitting on stacks. We need to also get into some of these trade schools and things like that. That's like I said, that's what's going to really make the effect on the black culture, how we raise our kids and things like that. There's so many other things that we need to worry about instead of just giving these guys money for a school that doesn't exist, for cleaning your debt or whatever the case may be. Shit, paying off on your debt is going to help you more than these brothers are, in hindsight. But hey, whatever.
Man who was able to raise almost $15 million from black people already, and he's lost millions of dollars every year. He hasn't produced a return yet. Right? So at what point do we point that out as a conscious community and say we don't want, because at the end of the day, you are his audience. Now, it seems as if you're not buying, but you're still
definitely not buying.
Yeah. You are his audience.
Yeah.
And
so I think
what's going on?
So there's really no easy way to say this. So, number one, you have to stop being a follower. That's just how it is. If you hear something that, seems very nice, give it some time, okay, but also use common sense. Also, I do encourage everyone to also take the time to read. Read books about business, read books about, and I'm not talking about the books that are 20, 30 pages, okay?
Right.
I'm talking about thick books.
So this is my last point. This is the last part I wanted to show y'all, because this person is a part of something called HOTEP Nation, which she says on YouTube somewhere. I'm not about to put no link for that shit. The conversation that he was asking was, how do you guys, because she was saying that HOTEP Nation does not represent HOTEP, or these guys, these hustlers don't represent HOTEP. And what JT was asking was, how do you guys discipline or separate the two, or even speak up on these guys and things like that? And I hate the generic answer of, you gotta stop being a follower. You gotta read more books and things like that. Do you hear how blank that is, how general that is? That means absolutely nothing to the average American, the average black person that's trying to make it out the hood, the average black person that's trying to put dollar bills into their family, trying to generate generational wealth. What are you physically doing in order to change the game for black people? Are you giving them more job opportunities that are going to correlate with them being able to take care of their families, purchase a house? We can't even talk about real estate if people don't even have the jobs that are going to give them some type of cash flow, that's going to give them some type of cash flow that's going to generate into being able to build their credit, things like that. These are all stepping stones. You get what I'm saying? So if you are missing a stepping stone, you are behind on the 8 ball. This is a fact. So what are you guys doing to punch back at these Dr. Umar Johnsons, the Brother Polites and things like that? Because these guys have been on the Breakfast Club. They have an audience at this point. You get what I'm saying? And so what do you do? What do you do for that? how do you build that? I mean, how do you discipline that? How do you take that into consideration and go, nope, that's not HOTEP. How do you do that? That's what he was asking. And personally, being in the live and seeing you and hearing you, I think you dive into that stuff because all you did was try to promote HOTEP, promote where you're from. We're not. No, I'm not about to give you no fucking money because I'm watching Dr. Umar Johnson run off with other people's money. Brother Polite run off with other people's money. Jay Morrison run off with other people's money. It's crazy how we're monetizing black the black dollar and the black agenda, but there's no help coming. So that's my point, man. Shout out to JT for that one, man. I'm out here. Like, subscribe, comment. Peace.